Welcome to the North Pole and SantaTeaches Studios. Today we're going to go over table positions, how we look at table positions, how we count back to get the table positions, and talk a little bit about our betting strategies with table positions. So let's go to the table and take a look. So here we have a typical 9-handed poker game. We have the dealer, small blind, big blind. Anytime we talk about position, we always start with the dealer. It's also called the button because we have a button. Positions are your spot at the table based on where the dealer button is. Whenever we talk about table position at a poker table, we always start with the dealer and move to the right. So we have the button, which is the dealer. Then just to his right, we have the cutoff position. The cutoff and the button are considered late positions. Then we start the middle positions of hijack, middle position 2, middle position 1. These are all considered middle positions. Then we have the early positions that starts out with under the gun 1 and under the gun. After that, we have the big blind and then the small blind. Our positions at the table dictate when we bet. If you're under the gun, you're the first one to bet. You don't get to see what anybody else does. So under the gun +1, you only get to see what under the gun does. And it goes on around. By the time you get out here to the hijack and the cutoff, you've already seen what all these players have done. So you know if they're in the hand or if they've folded, if they've raised. So you can take your hands and decide how to play against them. The big blind is the last person to bet before the flop. So he is actually in a late position too. The dealer, the button, he's actually the last person to bet anytime in the future after this first time. And if the small blind has stayed in after the flop, he is the first one to bet, so he doesn't get to see what anybody does first. So if you're playing in a tournament or even in a cash game, as people leave the game, there's less positions. But here again, you go back to the dealer, the button, and count backwards. So you have the button, the cutoff, the hijack, middle position 2, middle position 1. So we don't have any under the gun players. We just have the big blind and the small blind. It happens like that anytime you remove people or people come back in. Remember, you always count back from the dealer button. So that was a pretty quick summary of table positions. So hopefully knowing your position at the table will help your game in the future. As always, thanks for coming and watching our videos. Don't forget to subscribe. And I'm checking my list. I'm checking it twice. And I'm going to find out who's naughty or nice.